Before we get started, just a quick disclaimer. This podcast is for educational purposes only. For legal and financial advice, please seek help from a licensed professional. Thank you. Today's show is also sponsored by IAR Property Solutions. If you're looking to sell, buy, or renovate your property, IAR will be by your side through the merry real estate ride. Welcome to the Humble Hustle Podcast. My name is Antoine Basquiat, and I will be your host for today's episode. Listen, your gratitude posts and how humble you are and all of that stuff is just amazing. It honestly brings life to me. And I sit back and like, you know what? Yeah, I have what I wanted last year. I have what I wanted now. It's like life was better. So, so one of the things you said was no one knows how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
And I was like, damn.
Hey, no, for real, bro. Like, the biggest thing when it comes down to that is like, it's all about relationship building, right? And it just starts off of just like how we've been 15, 20 years plus into this as our brotherhood. You feel me? Like, we connected just off of simply like being from New York City and all that stuff. It wasn't just like like he a wide receiver and I'm an offensive lineman. Obviously he know the offense better. He know this. Like, it was just off a genuine relationship. You know what I'm saying? So when I say that, it's you could be the smartest person. Like, I had people at Kings, and it's funny. Like, I talk about this all the time, and you know this too. Like, you didn't. I want to tell you something, Josh. Antoine has seen the day one all the way up to now, and that's why I make sure that him and his family reap the benefits of anything that I could possibly give back to. Like, like they're the first ones that I'm like, yo, I got 2 extra tickets to this. Let me know if you can get there. I know Atlanta is X amount of hours from you, but let me know if you could get there. Just let me know. Like, it's things like that. Like, they done seen every single level. I done made sure just to give back to them simply because like they done seen me studying hours. I didn't have to sleep on Antoine's floor just to make it to practice, to make it to a game, just because I'm up all night and I know I'm not gonna wake up to an alarm after going to sleep at 4, knowing that we got workouts at 7. You know what I'm saying? And like, he doesn't see it. So like, when I say things like that, like, it's just genuine things of like that. I think of things like that. Like, I think of like, yo, like, you could be the smartest person in there. At first I wasn't the smartest person in my program at Kings, bro. Like, I had to like really make it out, like really grind from the bottom and like really put in work. And there was even times where like I just finished talking to Kings a couple weeks ago and we reminisced about like, yo, I was out of 30 of us, they only take 15 in the program. And there was a point my second year there, like sophomore year, when we start applying for that I was like 29 out of 30. And like, I literally had to find my like strengths. I had to find my strengths and not just putting in the work and whatnot, but my strengths was that I know how to build relationships with everybody around me, genuine relationships. And it's crazy because even as a young student, like even my mentor from Kings that Antoine knows, he was like, yo, like, you just got to this rotation 2 weeks ago and you already got people asking to tape you. Like, what is that? I'm like, not just are we in the same graduating class, but like, one of my things in the toolbox that I tell students, when an athlete gets on the table, the first thing I say is, what's up? Good morning. What's up? Dap them up. And I say, yo, how are you today? And they start talking about their injury. And I say, how are you today? How are you? Like, forget the injury. Like, the injury only identifies you as an athlete. How are you? And there's been times at all levels, bro. Like, all levels that I've been. There's been times that an athlete gets on the table and I say that, and they're like, oh yeah, my ankle's fine. Oh yeah, my shoulder's fine. My finger's fine. Like, like, yeah, I'm getting better. And I'm like, okay, well, how are you doing today? And they're like, yo, I'm having an effed up day. Yo, I've done failed about 5 tests. My teacher's on my behind. My coach is on my behind. I'm thinking I'm losing my spot. I don't know if I'm going to be here next year. Okay, well, maybe you just need to take a little breather. So, during this rehab session, I want you to I'm going to guide you on what you need to do to get better. But whatever you need to let out, you let it out. And it's all just you just vented. And I'll
You're
get
a
a
therapist.
10 out of 10, I'll get a text later that night saying, damn, I didn't realize how much I needed to say. Like, I appreciate you being a listening ear. And next thing you know, clockwork. Meanwhile, I done been in athletic training rooms where like a person holds all them same letters as me or has more experience in certain areas than me, but nobody want to go on their table because you want to know why they ain't got no bedside skills. How many times have you been to a doctor growing up, bro, and like the bedside skills was just out of there, and it's like, yo, I need a new doctor. Like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's wild.
2
So
weeks
like,
ago.
it's crazy, right? Yeah, no, like for real. Like, and I think the biggest thing, that's where that's the important part of this too. So, you know, that's a great question because when I say things like that and I say things, nobody knows how much you know until you know how much you care. Because guess what? Like, I'm big on obviously like years of experience get you somewhere, and like obviously perfecting your craft is what's gonna keep you going and keep you, you know, keep the ball rolling for you to get better. But you can't build relationships in this. Like you just a sitting encyclopedia. You just sitting with degrees. You know what I mean? Like you gotta know how to connect the people to the point where they want to come to you for something that's very important, which is taking care of their bodies, which is getting them back healthy, which is making sure that they don't get injured, which is making sure that I don't know. I had a player text me at some point in my experience that was like, "What mattress do you think I should get to make sure that I don't have low back pain?" And I'm like, "Let
I ain't gonna lie, I might ask you that too.
Like, you know, that's a curveball. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get that answer for you. Like, so it's not me technically saying I don't know, but the fact that he trusts me just for something like that, it sounds crazy. But like, bro, like I done seen it, and I done like the thing is, it's not even just me, bro. Like I done seen it from the best of the best. Like I got a mentor in this that saved one of his athletes' wives' lives because she had an ectopic pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? And he called him out of everybody. He called his athletic trainer at 3 a.m. and said, "My wife is having extreme pain in the pelvic area, in her stomach. She can't even like get out of her curling ball." And he said, "Take her to the emergency room and make sure you tell them, call me if anything, and call our team doc if anything." Next day, he admitted to the hospital. They did testing, and she had an ectopic pregnancy where she had to have emergency surgery. Saved her life.
Wow.
That's one of many heroic stories of people that's in this that do it right. You know, I emphasize do it right because there's some that really, you know, they do this with certain intentions. That's not what it is, but that there's prerogative. You know, I'm not throwing no shade or nothing like that. But like the real ones, like they like you know who's really in this. So, you know, that's a great question, bro. But like when I say that and execute that, it's what helps me keep going because at the same time, it helps me build a relationship to them to the point where we could get things done and they're locked in. And then I'm doing my part as an athletic trainer, but at the same time, they know I'm a human being. And I don't care how much money you make, especially since now like collegiate is NIL, but then even being here in the pros, I look at you as a human, my man. Like you got you got cameras in your face. You already got people with their hands out. You already got people to answer to. And at the same time, you still got to come in here and keep your job. You still got to go out there 82 games in the season and ball out and do your thing. The best that I can do, the best thing that I could do as an athletic trainer is let you know, not just I'm here to make sure I take care of your body and make sure that your healthcare is at the top of the top. Even us as a staff, but like, yo, you're a human being in my eyes, bro. Like, I promise you, you're a human being in my eyes. So that's where it comes from, man.
And I think, you know, in your profession, and we kind of touched on this on the other episode, is that trust thing is a big thing.
Yeah.
And you can really tell who's being genuine and who's not being genuine.
Right.
And I think exactly what you're saying is when you treat these people not only as an athlete but as a person, they're going to open up to you not only about what's going on physically but also mentally, because being an athlete as well, that mental part of it is half the battle right there. Because not only are you, once they get to that point of, all right, well, you got me to the point where I can be physically. Now you got to help me get to the point where I can trust that I'm okay, and I have to trust you that you know what you're doing, so I can trust my body again.
Right.
You know, and I think that's my next question was going to be what you think was the biggest factor of your success. From doorstep to front lawn to life.